All right, everybody, today we're going to learn about tonality.
No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm going to teach you guys about tonality today because if you find that you're giving your presentations and maybe people aren't that engaged, you want to be a little bit more dynamic in your tonality, not just use one the whole time. So let me show you guys a little bit about the different tones that I like to use during my presentation. So on this graph here, we got the 5 steps to the conversation: intro, short story, presentation, close, and rehash. And on this axis here, we have the energy level, okay? Now, a lot of people think that if you're in sales, you got to go high energy the whole time. That's actually not the case. You're going to come across as way too salesy, way too needy, and it's not what you want to do. Hey, how's it going? My name's Adam here today with this big deal. No. You want to vary it up a little bit. On the other side of things, what a lot of people do is they come in really low energy the whole time. Hey, how's it going? I've got a good deal. I know I'm putting you to sleep, but I kind of want a nap as well. Obviously, that's not correct either. So what you guys want to do is you want to vary it up a little bit. So first, what I recommend, you start with a high energy tonality to grab their attention. How high? You want to be 20% more enthusiastic than the person you're talking to. This is going to wake them up a little bit, but not give them a heart attack. A good balance of those things. And then from there in the short story, because we're going to be asking them questions and we want to make sure they know it's not a big deal, we want to use kind of a reasonable person tone or an indifferent tone that's right and in the middle here. So the way that I find my indifference tone is I like to make a bunch of lists. Like for instance, if you were to ask somebody, hey, what are all the breakfast foods? They say, well, eggs, bacon, toast. As you can see, I'm kind of shrugging a little bit. I'm stretching the words out a little bit. That's exactly how you use the indifference tone as well. So then you say things like, hey, who are your phones with? Are you guys paying above this? That way you're asking questions and it doesn't seem too demanding as well. Now, on the next part, in the presentation, I like to go down to the fear of loss tone, or as I like to call it, the Uncle Martin tone. Now, my Uncle Martin, whenever he was telling stories, he would go in nice and low, and he'd say, so I was at the grocery store the other day, and chicken was on sale. And I'd say, oh my gosh, Uncle Martin, that's the best story I've ever heard. But only because he was kind of whispering it. The stories themselves were actually quite boring. Because he brought it down in a whispering tone, everybody was always engaged when he spoke. And that's why you want to do that during your presentation. So what I'm getting a lot of your neighbors today is this, this, and this. Because when you use that lower tone, you're signifying that what you're telling somebody is important. And then, as we go back up to the close, what are we doing there? Well, we're asking them for business. Once again, we want to show them that this is not a big deal, so you want to use your indifferent tone, your reasonable person tone. Yeah, so for that, all I need is a piece of ID, all I need is an installation date, all I need is an email address. So guys, as you're going out there today, I want you to make your presentations nice and dynamic by using different tones as you pitch people. If you find that people aren't really getting too engaged while you talk to them, this is definitely going to solve that for you. So if you use these 3 tones, you go out there, you guys are going to find a lot more success. Sounds good? Sounds good.